I got hair for days. I have no idea why I did the style, but I look great, especially when I put my Deadpool hood on. Ba-boom!
What's up, guys? It's your girl Slenderman's Honey here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new, hi. If you are not, what's up? Anyway, so today I have facts. Also, this video is actually to get your brains working and get you guys a little bit more pumped up about going back to school. Yes, I said it. School! Anyway. So, ironically, the facts that I have for you today are both about... So, ironically, the facts I have for you guys today is both about veganism and gypsy culture. See, I know it's a bit weird to talk about these two things because one, I'm not a vegan, two, I'm not a gypsy. But these facts actually kind of made me a little bit more interested not only in the gypsy culture, but also into the diet of the vegan people who are vegans. And it actually really made me really think about certain things. First off, we will start with the gypsy culture. It is actually very much misunderstood. Because, one, gypsy males are actually very hardworking for their families. And two, once they are married, they're to not only the woman of their choice, they are actually very loyal to the women that they marry. And I thought that was very interesting. Especially about how reoccurring the whole cheating issue is for a lot that has increased over the past few years. Cheating has always been here, but I get the feeling that it's kind of gotten worse. So when I found out that gypsy men are actually very loyal to the women that they choose and they choose to marry, that is actually very amazing, and I thought that was really cool. Not only that, it's actually, and when I learned about the types of jobs that they do, some, a lot of road paving and stuff like that, and that makes them be on the road for months at a time. And it kind of reminds me of some truckers in my family who also has to spend months at a time away from their families, and it can actually be really hard. So and the reason why this whole loyalty thing got me even more thinking about on how cheating has increased. I didn't really think about much of it. Yes, cheating is very bad and it should be avoided at all costs. But the thing is, I didn't really start thinking about the two until a friend of mine actually told me on how when this guy started flirting with her, and after she had told him that she was engaged and happily engaged, he basically, and he even made the comment of, don't worry, it's okay to cheat on him a little bit. After I heard that, I kind of wanted to go kill him, because I am very anti-cheating, and me and And a lot of girls and guys who have the same thought process as me on this subject is all like, it's rather you are putting the same effort as I am to the relationship, or there is none. So, and I thought that was, so when I learned that gypsy men are actually more loyal to the women that they marry than some gorger males. Gorger means outsider in the gypsy culture, and I thought that was really cool, honestly, and kind of weird that they would call us gorgers, us non-gypsies, as gorgers. And yes, I'm wearing Deadpool. And the more I got interested into this culture, the more I wanted to learn more about them. And one thing I found out, because honestly I didn't even know about this, like gypsy girls, they dress a little more seductive than a girl like me who basically covers everything as much as she can. So yeah, gypsy women do show off a lot more skin. But the thing that actually really caught my attention was the fact that even though they dress this way, most gypsy girls are virgins until the day they get married. And I thought that was amazing, because gypsy females are put into this weird light on how they're like sluts and stuff like that because of the way they dress and the way they act and the way they dance. When honestly, they are virgins. Young gypsy women are virgins. And I thought that was really cool. Because look at me, I'm 20 years old and I'm a virgin. And yeah, I thought that was actually really cool that that gypsy women are raised to respect their bodies. Because where I grew up, I don't really see much of that. Because when I tell my friends, or like I have both male and female friends, and when I tell them that I am a virgin, they get this look like, oh my god, she's part of an endangered species. Because honestly, because when growing up and I looked around, I actually saw that basically I am part of an endangered species. Because unlike with the gypsy culture, even though we gorgers try to raise our daughters with the intent to respect our bodies, it never really turns out that way, because there's so many things like peer pressure and stuff like that, and it just angers me. And honestly, like, even my friends, when they see a teenage mother, they would always comment, they shouldn't be having kids because that's basically like babies having babies. And honestly, I do have a saying, like, it's their life and it's something that they need to go through. But it honestly makes me very sad that a lot of gorger girls' first time experiences are not the best, and because it's rather they were peer pressured into it, or they were taken by force. There are very few girls I know that say that they had given up their first times willingly, and that they really cared about this person. And it's just terrible. So when I found out that gypsy girls who are raised with the same intent that we're trying to raise our daughters with, and it actually sticks with them, because gypsy culture is actually not only very interesting to me, but it's also the fact that there's, like, I don't know why, it just seems like it clicks better with young gypsy girls than it does with Gorger girls. Because if you think about it, yes, gypsy culture can be a little more strict. They can be seen as a little more strict. But actually, if you see a lot of how parents, a lot of Gorger parents try to raise their children, you would be wondering on how one side's not more strict than the other. But it actually amazes me on how much we are so much alike and yet so different. Because gypsy females and gypsy males respect the whole wait until you are married. But gypsy men are actually on a whole different level than the gypsy women. Because, okay, so you know like how back in the day it was like the women stay home and clean and raise the children and the men go to work? That is how gypsies still have their homes. Like, the gypsy wife stays home and raises the children. The daughters are raised to know how to clean, cook, and provide. And how to provide a perfect home for when the husband gets back. Because the gypsy wife is like, how do I say this? The gypsy wife is basically, she is like, she's like the main guard of the house. She teaches her daughters to be strong, because once the man of the house is gone, it is up to the second head honcho to protect the family. Because, like I said, gypsy men are on the road months at a time trying to provide for their families. And this is actually something also that's pretty cool. Not only are gypsy girls remain virgins until they are married, but they also defend themselves to the extreme. And I thought that was actually pretty cool, because when you see Gorger girls fight, it's mostly hair pulling, scratching, and slaps across the face. And if you try to run away, if you just try to suck it up and walk away after you get hit, it's just terrible. Because the other person would think, hey, I won, peace. But gypsy women, on the other hand, they can full on defend themselves. They know how to throw a punch, and they know when's best to back down or when's the best to step up. Gypsy men, they can't hit a woman, so they have to fight the man closest to them. But gypsy women, once they get angry at another gypsy woman, it's fair game. And I thought that was pretty interesting and kind of weird. again, I'm a gorger, so a lot of the gypsy heritage and things that they go by is a little weird to me, but at the same time very intriguing. Because, like, gypsy men at a young age are taught how to fight, taught how to defend themselves, no matter what the situation calls for. And the weirdest thing about gypsy girls is that when they get ready for a fight, they make sure they have this weird motto being all like, that's like, if I'm gonna fight, at least I'm gonna look good doing it. And honestly, they do. They do look good when they fight, because they're all dolled up and they have their makeup on, they have their bracelets on, and honestly, definitely don't want to mess with a gypsy woman. Definitely not. But the thing that I can't really wrap my head around is the whole, about the whole gypsy culture is, there's so many things that I admire about the gypsies, and most of it is just their confidence in themselves, and I love their confidence. I would love to be friends with a gypsy girl, because one, they seem like that they would be like pretty good friends, honestly. And yeah. But the one thing I can't really wrap my head around is the whole dropping out of school at a young age and having to at least dropping out of school at a young age, and basically once you turn the age of 14, that is when gypsy women start looking for a potential husband. And I thought that was actually pretty weird, because again, I'm a gorger, so I was raised to believe that marriage is something that you need to do once you are older, like early to mid-20s, or even later, depending on what you want to do in life. But with the gypsy culture, no, it's best to marry young in their culture. And once again, kind of hard to wrap my head around, but that's their culture, and I respect that. Another thing that I can't really wrap my head around is that while the gypsy females are learning to take care and maintain the home, the boys kind of do nothing. They just sit, watch TV, do what boys do. And again, I'm a gorger, so I was raised with my brothers. We each had a chore to do, and we had to do it, because that's just how we were raised. But in the gypsy culture, no. The men can do what they want to do. And that's completely fine, honestly, because again, it's their culture, it's their way of life, and I respect that with all my heart. Because honestly, I see no reason to criticize someone of their culture or anything like that. Because one, that's just how they were raised, and that's just how they live. And honestly, again, I would love to be friends with a gypsy, boy or a girl, because I think it would be not only a good learning experience, but also I think it could also be pretty good to have a friend who has such a different outlook on life than I do. Because if you actually look at my group of friends, I have a lot of friends with different outlooks on life. So, yeah. I think I'm going to keep researching more about the gypsy culture. Because, honestly, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed learning more about them. And kind of makes me angry on how differently the gypsy women are treated because of the way that they dress, they dance, and they act. Because honestly, it's just, they just have a lot more confidence in their body than other girls do. And I respect them for that because they have that confidence. But at the same time, they have the sheer will to, the sheer knowledge and the will to, even though they show a lot, they still keep their morals. And that is actually something really to look up to a gypsy girl for. Because once it comes to morals, a gypsy has a little bit more than we do. And honestly, that's my honest opinion. Okay? That's my honest opinion, I promise. And if your opinion about it is different, then that's fine. And honestly, the whole thing on how gypsies are like thieves and stuff like that, nah. That is probably farther from the truth about on how a lot of gypsies are. That is more fiction than fact, honestly. But they do party hard. They do. I will not lie about that. Yeah. Moral-wise, gypsies got it down. Now moving on to veganism. Okay, so a lot of you guys know what a vegan is and what they eat. And if you don't, a vegan is someone who strictly does not eat meat or animal-related products. They mostly eat plant-based. And honestly, that's actually a really healthy lifestyle. Because have you seen a vegan gain 30 pounds? No. Honestly, but also honestly, if you think about it, you need to gain a little weight before you start losing it, honestly. And that is not, and I didn't really know much about veganism until I started watching a YouTuber called Freely, I think her name is. And honestly, she actually has some pretty good ideas about veganism. And that's mostly because she is a vegan. She's been a vegan longer than I'll ever be. And the more I learned about veganism, the more I found myself trying to eat a little more healthier and a little more plant-based. Because growing up, I have ran across certain videos about slaughterhouses and stuff like that, and that just made me very weary around meat. And not only that, but when I call myself an animal lover, and honestly, the fact that it runs through my mind that I am eating an animal kind of makes me feel really bad. And honestly, when I eat meat, I just push the thought this was a living, breathing creature out of my mind. Because if you think about it, we have that weird little fact in our brains that, let's say, okay, let's go with dogs and cats. Growing up here in America, we do not eat dogs or cats because we see them as pets. We see them as friends. And we have emotional connections with them. And so the fact that we are eating an animal who's probably far smarter makes me kind of feel really bad about it. Because when I grew up eating meat, and I never thought twice about it. And then when I got older and I see so many, and I see these videos popping up not only on Facebook, but also on YouTube, and my friends showing it just to see if they can freak me out. Which they immediately regret after, because I would be bawling my eyes out. Because I have seen a lot of slaughterhouse cruelty videos growing up, and it's not a pretty thing, and it made me want to cry. It made me want to stop eat all entirely. But honestly, if you think about it, like, eating meat is sort of an addiction, because we are carnivores. We eat meat, but so after seeing these things, and when I eat meat, I just try to shove it in the back of my mind as best as possible and not even think about it. And then after I got a stepbrother, after I got two stepbrothers, one is actually very kind and conservative, and one keeps making jokes about how he wants to eat a squirrel. And when I try to tell him, no, that's gross, it's a living creature, and then he shoves the fact that I eat meat into my face, breaks my heart, honestly. And it shouldn't break my heart, because that's just, and a lot of people think that it shouldn't break my heart, but it does, because, again, I am an animal lover, and it breaks my heart every time I think of the fact that what I'm eating was alive. It was breathing, it had a heartbeat. It just ruins it, honestly. And so after I watched a couple videos by this woman named Freely, by the way, I will leave a link to her YouTube channel in the description box below, because she has some really good tips on vegan food that is actually really good for you. And yeah, but so when I started watching a few videos of her, I actually subscribed to her, honestly, because she had so many good ideas and recipes and a lot of great knowledge about veganism, and I kind of wanted to learn more about it. And then I saw, and after watching some of her videos, I found myself eating a little bit more healthier, trying to get more exercise in, and I find myself sometimes looking to see if something is vegan. So later on, once I can start affording it, I actually want to try easing a bit into a more healthier lifestyle that is less meat-based. Less animal-based. Because, honestly, like, I want to at least toss my hat in the ring and try to ease into something that's not only healthier, but is also helping a living creature live longer. So, I watched her videos to gain more insight on veganism and stuff like that. And then I noticed on a tweet and an Instagram post by Shane Dawson saying that he was going vegan for a day. So I wanted to see on what he felt about it and stuff like that. Honestly, if he didn't like it, it wouldn't have changed my mind one bit about trying to ease into veganism. because that is something that actually had piqued my interest, and it really is healthier for you. So I watched Shane Dawson's recent video of him going vegan for a day. Again, I will leave a link to that in the description box below. And he went through and he did his research and so much more, and then the one thing he didn't double check for, there was one mistake he made, but it's not really his fault because it was his first time. So seeing the fact that him not only being a little more happier with the food that he had eaten, a little more on how he felt happier and how he was eating a little bit healthier and so much. Not only that, but he also woke up the next day feeling lighter and really happy with himself. Plus, it just, to me, I think it just like really uplifted his attitude. And yes, he does throw in a few comedic jokes in there, but that's just Shane. So seeing him actually enjoy it made me really happy because, one, that's, again, helping an animal live a little longer. And two, it just piqued my interest to try easing into veganism a little more. Again, if you didn't like it, it wouldn't have changed my thought process on easing into becoming a vegan. It's just the fact that when he actually enjoyed it, it actually amped up my confidence to try. And when I actually have enough money, I am actually planning to go to the store and see what is vegan, so I can try and ease into a healthier vegan lifestyle, so that way I can live a little bit healthier. Because random fact about my family is that diabetes does run in my family. And not only that, once certain members in my family got older, they also gained weight pretty quickly. So in order to avoid those, I wanted to try eating healthier while I am young enough to do so. And yeah. So, 2 reasons on why I was for you guys to become a little more aware of the gypsy culture and to actually put out the message of veganism out into the world. Because, yeah, if you think about it, they both really interested me because of 2 main points: morals and health. And those are the 2 things that are kind of important in my life, even though I drink Pepsi and eat chips and cake and a lot of food. So if you guys like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and if you haven't yet, I really suggest that you subscribe and tap that bell button, because I try to upload videos as much as I can. And for you comic dubbing subscribers that I have, do not worry. Here soon I will actually be having my first day off in a few weeks, here in a couple of days. So that day will be dedicated to making chapter 5 of Playing with Fire. So I hope you guys enjoyed my video. I hope it didn't enact any anger. And I hope you guys have a great school year and make it your own. Bye.
Your life is done, he took it all with him. So you drink enough for it to wash away the sins. It's such a shitty thing he did.